Neuralink Decoded, a straightforward guide to the promise and perils of brain-computer interfaces. What this is about: brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, let people control a computer with brain signals. Neuralink is the most famous company working on this. This article explains what Neuralink has actually achieved, how its implant works, what it can and cannot do today, the real risks, the state of the law, and what to watch next. The goal is clear: simple narration suitable for an AI video script. Quick context: Neuralink performed its first human implant in January 2024. Public demos showed the participant moving a cursor and playing online chess by thought. Reuters by September 2025, Neuralink said 12 people worldwide have received the implant, together logging thousands of hours of use. The company plans a clinical study in Great Britain with UCLH and Newcastle hospitals. Reuters 2. What a BCI actually does. A BCI measures brain activity and translates it into commands. The most common goal today is cursor control and typing for people with severe paralysis. Think of it as a very specialized input device. It does not read thoughts like a book. It detects patterns linked to intended movement or selections and turns them into computer actions. How Neuralink's implant works, in plain language: Neuralink's device is called N1. It is a coin-sized implant that sits flush with the skull. From the implant, 64 ultra-thin flexible threads reach into the surface of the motor cortex. On those threads are 1,024 tiny electrodes that listen to neural spikes. A custom chip inside the implant digitizes the signals and sends them wirelessly to a nearby device that runs the decoding software. The R1 surgical robot places the threads while avoiding blood vessels. The implant has a rechargeable battery charged through the skin. Neuralink. What people can do with it today: move a cursor on a laptop or tablet. Click, type, and browse with thought-based control. Play simple games like online chess. These are not gimmicks. For someone who cannot move their arms, the ability to message, browse, bank, and work with a computer independently can be life-changing. Reuters, what went wrong and why it matters. In the first participant, some electrode threads retracted after surgery. Signal quality dropped. Neuralink adjusted software and surgical parameters. Performance recovered for that user, and later patients reportedly avoided the issue. The incident shows the core challenge for any penetrating implant: long-term stability inside living brain tissue. It is the difference between a good demo and a durable medical tool. The Guardian. What's next on Neuralink's public roadmap? Telepathy, hands-free computer control, today's focus. Robotic arm control, extend intent decoding to prosthetics. Blind sight, a future program aimed at vision restoration. Deep neuromodulation concepts for movement disorders. Timeframes depend on safety, reliability, and regulator decisions. The UK feasibility study, GB Prime, is a near-term step to gather more data outside the US. Raiders +1 risks you should take seriously. 1. Surgery and biology. Even with a robot, brain surgery carries risks: bleeding, infection, seizure, and post-operative complications. Flexible threads may be gentler than rigid needles, but they must stay in place for years. The early retraction event made this clear. The Guardian. 2. Reliability over months and years. Signals can decline over time due to tissue response, micro-movement, or material wear. Some people may need revisions or explants. Long-term data are still limited compared with the scale needed for everyday clinical use. This is true across the field, not just for Neuralink. 3. Quality systems and compliance. In the past, Neuralink's operations drew regulatory scrutiny in pre-human testing contexts. As the company scales trials, robust quality management and transparent reporting will matter as much as engineering. Reuters. 4. Cybersecurity. A modern implant is a connected device. The US FDA issued updated guidance in June 2025 requiring strong cybersecurity practices in design and in pre-market submissions. Expect demands for secure software, SBOMs, patching plans, and incident handling. For users, the question is simple: how is the implant and data link secured? US Food and Drug Administration. 5. Neural data privacy. Neural data can be intimate and, in some cases, re-identifiable. Laws are evolving. Chile wrote neurorights into its constitution, and its Supreme Court ruled on a mental privacy case in 2023. In the US, several states now treat neural data as sensitive and give people more control. Patients and families should ask who owns the data, where it lives, how long they are kept, and how to export or delete them. Royal Society Publishing +1. The field beyond Neuralink, why this matters. Neuralink is not the only approach. Others trade raw bandwidth for lower surgical risk. Synchron stentrode, a mesh electrode delivered through blood vessels near motor cortex. No open brain surgery. Early US results in a small cohort met safety targets at 12 months. Bandwidth is lower than penetrating arrays, but the procedure may scale more easily. JAMA Network +2 endovascular today 2 BlackRock Neurotech academic Utah arrays. High-quality signals with rigid needles proven in labs for decades. Longevity varies and requires craniotomy. Precision Neuroscience Layer 7. Surface thin film arrays inserted under the skull through a tiny slit. A possible middle ground between safety and signal density. Non-invasive routes, EEG MEG plus modern AI decoders are also improving. They will not replace implants for the highest performance tasks soon, but they can serve many people who will never consider surgery. Hype versus reality. This is not mind reading. Systems detect patterns linked to intended actions. They require training and cooperation from the user. This is not consumer tech yet. The near-term market is medical, enabling communication and control for people with severe paralysis. Durability beats demos. The winner is the device that stays stable, safe, and useful every day with minimal calibration, not the one with the flashiest one-hour live stream. What to watch in 2025-2027. Cohort size and follow-up. How many active users? For how many months? With what adverse events? As of September 2025, Neuralink reports 12 implants, UK study launching. Reuters +1, daily usability. Hours of independent use per day, minutes of calibration, real-world tasks beyond games. Performance stability, bits per second and error rate over time, not just at peak. Any sudden drops? Why? Surgical refinements, clear evidence that thread placement and retention are improving. Cyber and privacy posture, published security details, data handling policies, and compliance with new guidance and state laws. U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Practical notes for patients and families. Treat this as a clinical trial, not a finished product. Ask about explant plans, MRI compatibility, and who handles repairs or upgrades. Request a plain language summary of your data rights and security protections. Track outcomes that matter to you. Independent hours, communication speed, and ease of daily use. Bottom line, BCIs have moved from lab benches into real homes. Neuralink helped push that shift into the public eye. The next leap won't be about hype. It will be about boring excellence, safe surgery, stable signals, strong security, clear data rights, and honest long-term results. If those pieces fall into place, BCIs can deliver everyday independence for thousands of people who need it most. Introduction. What is Neuralink? How does it work? Who is it designed for? Undesirable aspects and safety concerns. What does the scientific literature tell us about Neuralink? Future potential beyond medical applications. Conclusion. Elon Musk's Neuralink has captured the public imagination with its ambitious goal of creating a brain-computer interface, BCI, a device that bridges the gap between the human brain and computers. But what exactly is Neuralink? And is it science fiction or a glimpse into the future of human potential? Stay up to date with breaking news about scientific developments in Neuralink brain interface by clicking here. What is Neuralink? Neuralink is a neurotechnology company developing a chip designed to be implanted into the human brain. This chip would contain thousands of tiny electrodes capable of recording and potentially stimulating neural activity. The idea is to allow a seamless flow of information between the brain and a computer, enabling control of external devices, enhanced sensory experiences, and potentially even artificial memory augmentation. How does it work? The Neuralink chip is a complex piece of technology, but the basic principle involves these steps. 1. Implantation. A surgical procedure inserts the chip into a specific area of the brain. 2. Neural activity detection. Electrodes on the chip pick up electrical signals from nearby neurons firing. 3. Signal processing. These signals are processed by a tiny computer within the chip and translated into digital information. 4. Brain-computer interface. This digital information can then be used to control external devices or software applications. Who is it designed for? Neuralink brain chip is currently in the early stages of development, and its primary focus is on potential medical applications. The initial targets could be individuals with neurological conditions like paralysis, epilepsy, or blindness. By interpreting brain signals, Neuralink function could help restore lost functions or provide alternative communication channels. Undesirable aspects and safety concerns. Neuralink faces several challenges and ethical considerations. Safety. Brain surgery carries inherent risks, and the long-term effects of implanting a foreign object in the brain are still unknown. Privacy. The ability to decode brain activity raises concerns about data privacy and potential manipulation of thoughts. Accessibility. The high cost of such technology could create a significant disparity in access. Ethical concerns. The potential for cognitive enhancement or memory manipulation raises ethical questions about human augmentation. What does the scientific literature tell us about Neuralink? Neuralink's research is ongoing, and published data is limited. However, some peer-reviewed studies in journals like Nature and Science discuss the technical feasibility of the device and its potential applications in restoring lost motor functions. Here's a summary of relevant findings. Article: Elon Musk's Neuralink's brain chip, a review on brain-reading device. Nature Scientific Reports, 2023. Biocompatibility, ensuring the long-term safety of implanted devices in the brain tissue. Signal decoding, accurately interpreting the complex electrical signals produced by the brain. Scalability, developing BCIs with enough electrodes to capture a comprehensive picture of brain activity. Article: Targeted neurotechnology restores walking in humans with spinal cord injury. Wagner et al., 2018, Nature. This research, while not directly related to Neuralink, showcases the potential of BCIs for restoring lost motor function. The study demonstrates how electrical stimulation of the spinal cord can allow paralyzed individuals to regain some control over their legs. This offers promise for Neuralink's potential application in helping individuals with paralysis. Article: Active tactile exploration using a brain-machine brain interface. O'Doherty et al., 2011, Nature. This study explores the concept of brain-computer-brain interfaces, BBCI, where information is not just relayed from the brain to a computer, but also back to the brain. The research demonstrates how monkeys can use a BBCI to control a robotic arm and receive sensory feedback through electrical stimulation. It offers a glimpse into the potential future applications of BCIs for enhanced sensory experiences. Future potential beyond medical applications. While the initial focus is on medical applications, the long-term vision of Neuralink is broader. Potential future applications include direct brain-computer communication. Imagine controlling computers, robots, or even prosthetics with your thoughts. Enhanced learning. Neuralink could potentially facilitate faster information processing and knowledge acquisition. Augmented reality. Imagine a seamless integration of digital information with your real-world perception. Neuralink is a groundbreaking technology with the potential to revolutionize healthcare and human interaction with technology. However, significant hurdles remain in terms of safety, ethics, and accessibility. As research progresses, it will be crucial to have open discussions about the societal implications of this powerful technology.